You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts. Today I just thought I'd talk a little bit about DVD glitches. This is a thought I've been wanting to talk about for a minute now, and just finally decided to get down and do it. So, what do I mean by DVD glitches? There can be certain issues with DVDs that you run into that cause some issues. For instance, there's a reason I have 2 copies of SpongeBob Season 3. Because even though I bought them both new, and the discs were flawless on both, first copy I got, the third disc, some of the episodes didn't work, including the original pilot. But also, the prank one, I think Pranks-A-Lot is what it's called, or something to that effect, didn't work on that set, so I had to buy another copy, which is why I have 2. I mentioned this before, but there was no reason in it. It was just a flaw in the disc's coding or something. Like, there's nothing wrong physically with the disc. There's other discs that I have that don't really have any problems with them, but, like, for instance, Malcolm in the Middle. In Season 3 of Malcolm in the Middle, there is a episode, I can't remember which episode, and it might not even be Season 3, it might have been Season 2 or 4, I honestly don't remember. I just know it was somewhere in the middle there. But there's an episode that doesn't work when you just go to the episode itself. You have to go to play all and then skip to the episode. It's a really weird thing that I don't really know why it happens. But whenever I'm watching it, if I'm not doing play all, I have to be conscious of that and actually go back and do play all and skip to it if I'm just watching an episode or 2 at a time. Also, not a glitch, but something that is a little obnoxious is some DVDs, when they have multiple versions of the same episode, will play them back to back. So, Malcolm in the Middle doesn't do this. If you do play all, it doesn't do the extended pilot, it only does the regular version. But with The Office, for instance, when there's longer episodes that have extended versions, like a Benihana Christmas or the Michael's Replacement, I forget what it's called, it will just play them back to back. And you have to go and choose the longer one. Like, if you do play all, it plays the short one first and then the long one, so I often don't watch the extended version because I forget about that detail when I'm hitting play all. Again, not a glitch, but a little thing that's a little irritating. Another DVD glitch I wanted to mention is one that you've probably seen me deal with on stream before, and I'm thinking this is probably just because I'm using VLC. I'm hoping that's the case, because otherwise I'm only going to be able to watch certain episodes of The Sopranos on the computer, but I do think it is an issue with VLC rather than the discs themselves. But, when you get to the 3rd episode or higher in the disc, and you hit play on it, it just plays the first episode again. So in order to do it, you have to open the file to the episode manually in VLC instead of launching it from the menu. Which, again, not a big deal, I can just do that, but it is really frustrating, and it does throw off when I'm getting stuff set up. And now for another one that's not a glitch, but something that is a bit irritating. So, if you guys don't know, when I watch The Simpsons, I tend to like the episodes with the deleted scenes on. So if you don't know, The Simpsons has a feature where you play the episode with the deleted scenes, because you hit play, and then a little scissors icon will pop up, and then you'll hit play, and that'll show a deleted scene. For some reason, on the Xbox Series X, this does not work. I think that might also be true with the Xbox One. I haven't tried it. I just used it on the Series X, because we use the Series X as a Blu-ray and DVD player in the TV room. But my Xbox 360 had no problem playing it. In fact, the 360 could play it even if you didn't have it enabled if you knew the spot to push play. So for some reason, it doesn't work, and I've tried hitting play on the media remote, because we have a media remote for the 360. I've tried hitting X, I've tried hitting A, I've tried hitting B, then A. I've tried hitting start. I've tried doing it on a regular controller. There's just no way to access the deleted scenes when you're watching The Simpsons on an Xbox Series X, and again, presumably on an Xbox One as well, since their Blu-ray app is basically the same. So that can be really irritating, because my favorite way to watch Simpsons is with the deleted scenes enabled, so I can hit play and watch them at my own, like, when it's on. And there's plenty of jokes I like that are exclusive to the deleted scenes, so it really bothers me that I'm not able to watch the show in the preferred way I want when the DVDs were made that way, just because the Blu-ray app on Xbox isn't that great. This wouldn't be an issue if we had my DVD player currently hooked up, because my DVD player was my preferred way to watch anything back before we moved to this house. But we've yet to hook up the DVD player in this house, just because it's a little bit more of a pain in the ass to get the cords back there behind the TV, even if it even has component slots. But I do plan to set it up eventually, especially since it's region unlocked, and right now the way we have it set up is we have the Xbox set up for regular DVDs and Blu-rays that are our region. The PS5 is hooked up for region 2 DVDs currently, because you can change the region on your PS5, but you can only do it a certain number of times. And speaking of PlayStation, did you guys know that a PS2's clock will still remember the date and time? Like, my PS2, which had been unhooked for several months, we hooked it up, and I never fucking set the date and time, like, not in years. But I was playing it with Theron the other day. We were playing this game called Champions of Norath, or something like that. And when I hooked it up, it knew the date and time. I was astonished that the save battery for the clock in this console is that good that it remembers it when it's been unplugged for several months. And I'm pretty sure I haven't entered the date and time in fucking years. So, that's nuts. Obviously, in addition to glitches, there's things like disc rot and scratches and all sorts of other things to worry about. DVD cases can often crack the fucking middle of the discs if it's a bad case. For instance, my case to Blackadder isn't exactly the friendliest to Seasons 3 and 4 in particular with the way it holds them in. Like, it gets the job done, and I've gotten accustomed to it, but the cases to Sopranos and Succession are ridiculous with their grip they have on the discs. And it's funny, because, you'd think, oh, this is a good thing, it holds it in place, but yeah, it's such a bitch to get out, you could easily damage them. And then on the flip side, some of my Simpsons sets, the discs just fall out of their place. For instance, my Simpsons Season 5, discs 3 and 4 do not stay in place. And also my Dragon Ball Z Season 4, some of the discs don't stay in place. Another one worth mentioning is I used to, whenever I would watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on my Xbox 360, the voice of the guide would not come through. I think later we determined that this was because I didn't have both AVs plugged in, because I was using a mono TV with the standard AV cables. So it was in all likelihood just because the voice of the guide only comes through one side of the speakers and not the others. Playing it in mono sound, we didn't get the voice of the guide, but we got everything else because whichever side it came through wasn't the right one. I thought it was a DVD glitch or an issue with it on the 360 for a long, long time when I was younger. But I do think that's probably what it was looking back. But overall, that's really all I had to talk about today. A little bit of a short, random thought, but just thought I'd talk a little bit about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles.
I'm a bit of an elbow man myself, actually. Bit different, bit weird, not sexual.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red Eye.